Hey everybody, Gabriel Sedlak here. I had a few thoughts I wanted to share with you. I've been actually out on my porch. The weather has been incredible actually doing work, getting caught up on office work and getting things done here. And I said, you know what, I gotta talk about a subject because lately this has been a conversation I've had with several folks. What do you do when you start having success? And one of the big things that happens, well, my wife has an amazing quote. I think it's extraordinary. She goes, people cannot openly celebrate with you when they secretly are jealous or are envious of you. And that's another tough one because, in the struggle, everybody's together. But as soon as you start to see success, it's almost like it separates, and there's a distance sometimes and many times between the people that you maybe have hung around with prior. And the crazy part about it is it's just part of success. You don't get upset. You don't worry about it. You're not angry. I mean, if they knocked on your door tomorrow, you'd be like, hey, what's going on? But the point is that people are so afraid of these types of things that it's one of the reasons why people choose not to be successful, because they think, hey, if I start getting successful, I'm going to start having resistance. I'm going to start having opinions about me. Your past, your dead past is going to try to come up and say things in your ear. You're going to have, like I said, friendships that are not the same anymore. And I just want to encourage you guys, it's just part of the course. Success exposes a lot about us, right? About ourselves. We start seeing ourselves in the mirror and we go, wow. You realize where you were, and every little step of the way you see the mindset changes. And if you can have grace up, with yourself on those things, you don't beat yourself up too much, because you and I we're always our worst critic. But, as you also hit these successful milestones, you're just gonna associate with new people. You're going to have different conversations. You're going to be jealous for your time. You're going to kind of see through the noise. You're actually going to see agendas. You're going to see motivations that people have. What was actually motivating them in the first place. And it's just part of life. You're not going to get around it. And as you succeed, just don't be surprised. Don't be afraid of it. Always extend grace on yourself and on others. If people say stuff about you, if there's opinions, finger pointing, or just a rustiness and a distance and an edge to relationships you had before, you know what, guys? That is, again, one of those all through history, that's been the case. My suggestion for people is, as you're doing what it takes, and there's not some price to pay that's negative. You don't ever have to have what does the scripture say? It's the Lord that gives you the ability to gain wealth, and he adds no sorrow with it. See, that's the difference. The world says there's a price to pay. You've got to do this. There's all these sacrifices you have to make. When you're doing it God's way, you don't have to have those sacrifices. You don't have to miss time with your family. You don't have to have regret be your taskmaster down the road. But you will have people react with you and interact with you differently. And so I think it's one of the big subjects I have with folks. It's like, man, we've seen our checks do this, or we've seen our business do that, or our life has done this. And we feel more lonely. Maybe initially, but there's a whole new world of people out there that, like I did in a prior video, there's nothing like spending time with people that celebrate with you. People that, when you come together, the conversation is about dreaming. The conversation is about impossibilities being reached, and then reaching new impossibilities that you also reach. There's edifying words that are spoken. There's a servanthood to the friendship. There's a mutually beneficial dynamic to the friendship. So, you know what? When it comes to being successful, just don't be afraid of it. Bottom line, a lot of people are able to window shop You know, they walk past the store and all the beautiful things inside the windows, and they go, wow, I sure wish I could have that. But, you know, I don't deserve it. I could never buy that for myself. That's too expensive, da-da-da-da-da. You know, you could give the money to somebody else or use the money some other direction. But we do the exact same thing to ourselves when it comes to success. We choose not to have it because we don't feel like we, you know, are worthy of it, or, you know what, that's fine for others. You know what I hear all the time? Hey, Gabriel, I'm so glad for you guys. That's so awesome. You guys are doing great. And I say, have you ever considered, you know, what we do and what have you? And I say, let's have a cup of coffee. Oh, no, that's not for me. That's for you. You know, I'm into, and they'll start talking about all the reasons why they're justifying where they're at, even if it's not working, and even if it hasn't worked over and over and over and over again. You'll hear this. Don't let these things bother you. Succeed. Set your family free. Do what it takes to, there's an old quote, the best thing about a lot of money is the freedom from it. And the wise will hear exactly what I said. There's powerful truth in that. Make sure you're hearing it correctly. And because of the leveraging and the time involved, right? Your money becomes your servant, time becomes your servant. But again, guys, success comes with an interesting flow of kickback. But what happens is your success becomes this thing that people can anchor onto, and they go, wow, if they did it, I can do it. And your success will actually be like a vacuum that draws a multitude in that would never have had the ability to have the success if you didn't do it first. So guys, as the chips fall sometimes in life, you know what? Don't pay it any attention. You've got to succeed. It's your duty. You have to. It's a must. It's a prerequisite. It's mandatory. It's normal. You know what's normal? Is to see a seed turn into a tree, and to see that tree and its seeds and its fruit become more trees. Growth is normal. Increase is normal. You know what's not normal? One season crops. Corn that can't reproduce. Get a check, spend it, no more money. Now I got to go back to work to make more money to spend it. We've got to see increase. Increase is normal. Plateauing and not increasing is abnormal. And lack of fruit and the lack of the increase of fruit on a regular basis, consistently, daily, hourly, weekly, monthly, is actually the way it's supposed to be. Because remember, we're supposed to be what? People say, oh, I'm in a season right now. I'm in a season right now. You know, you hear this constantly. And I'm like, well, okay, that's great. Well, I'm in a season, you know, right now I'm learning this, that, and the other. I say, okay, that's fine. That's fine. What season are you in? They go, well, I'm just in a season right now. And they give you this kind of nebulous answer. And I go, well, no farmer plants a crop or works his fields without knowing what season it is. So if you don't know what season it is, first of all, make sure it's not rhetoric, because it's a very common thing for people to say. It's almost like a bumper sticker excuse. I said, but the scripture there actually says we're supposed to be fruitful in season and out of season. You know, the fig tree, it wasn't even the season for figs. Guess who wanted fruit? The Lord did. And in our lives, as we're moving about, make sure you've got fruit. Don't tell me it's a season to be unfruitful. Don't tell me it's a season to not grow. That's abnormal, and it actually is destructive. So that's the kind of stuff that I think about sometimes when I take little breaks between working or whatever. But I know that's going to encourage some of you guys. Don't be afraid of success. Don't. Whatever you do, do it anyway. There's too many people that need it. You've got to succeed for the sake of yourself, your family, and the multitude that'll have their lives changed because you said yes. So, it's with that. Outlive your critics. Never miss a moment. I mean it. Outlive your critics. Never miss a moment. You don't have to. So, thanks for listening. That's my thoughts for tonight. You guys have a blessed afternoon. I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.